If you're thinking of getting a MacBook and you're not sure whether you want to go for an Air or a Pro, or you're not sure whether you want an M1, M2, or an M3, let me share a story with you. In early 2020, I had just got back from a trip to Australia. I had recently posted my first videos on this YouTube channel, and I was just ending my 4-year career as a full-time rideshare driver. The pandemic had just begun, things were changing rapidly, and I was trying my best to adapt to the new world situation, as I think we all were. It had become apparent that I'd no longer be able to work as I had been, and I realized that maybe now would be the opportunity for me to start something new. Up to that point, I had been filming all my videos with my then iPhone 11, and I was using the iMovie app to do my editing. Then in November of 2020, I was finally able to afford my first Mac. So I went to Best Buy and happily bought a new MacBook Pro with a 16-inch screen. And soon after that, I purchased Final Cut Pro, and I was really excited to finally have better editing software. So I was off to the races. I now had a MacBook Pro with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of hard drive storage, which for me was a major breakthrough. I took an online course on video editing with Final Cut Pro to get myself familiar with it, and at the same time I was posting a video on YouTube about once or twice per month. And throughout 2021, 2022, and 2023, I continued to gain more and more experience editing on my MacBook Pro. And me and that MacBook went through a lot together. Various trips throughout California, 2 trips to Ukraine, and 2 trips to Poland. Altogether, I spent probably 1,000 hours editing video after video after video on that MacBook Pro. Overall, it was really durable and it got the job done. On the evening of March 11th, 2024, it was a dark and stormy night, and I'm just kidding. I drove to one of my favorite running spots, but this time just to take a walk. And I've been coming to this same spot on again and off again for my whole life. I've always felt safe there, and I like the location, so as usual, I parked and I left my backpack in the car. I went for a walk, did some pull-ups, decided to call it a night, got back to my car, and saw that my backpack containing my MacBook Pro was gone. I used the Find My app to lock my stolen Mac, and I attempted to track it with my phone. I filed a police report, and they sent officers out to try and recover my stolen Mac. And after a few days of follow-up conversations with the police, it became clear that there probably wasn't much more that could be done to recover the computer. Now, luckily, I'd purchased insurance for this type of thing, and thank God I did. I thought to myself, what is the best possible replacement computer I can get for the best price possible within my budget? I realized fairly quickly that replacing my stolen MacBook Pro with a new MacBook Pro wouldn't be realistic. The prices for new MacBook Pros were too high for me. Even the refurbished ones were just a bit too expensive. So I thought, well, maybe I'll have to settle for a MacBook Air. And I'd heard that Apple recently introduced the new M3 processing chips to the MacBook Airs. So I did some research, specifically comparing the MacBook M1, M2, and M3 chips. After doing the research, it seemed to me that getting an M2 instead of an M3 would save me some money, while still giving me a significant performance boost over the M1, and still almost as good a performance as an M3. So I bought a refurbished MacBook Air M2 with 24 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of internal storage, which is great specifications for video editing, and so far it's been working great. So although I'm still missing my stolen MacBook Pro, I'm grateful to have been able to replace it with such a great alternative. And that's why I got a MacBook Air M2 instead of an M3.